Hey everybody, 3KO Games here. Thanks for tuning into another Empires and Puzzles video. We have several new glass costumes to look at, so let's jump in to this costume summon and take a look. New in the 5-star category, we have Glass Magni. Let's look at the original. 420% damage to the target, and then caster and nearby allies get plus 63% defense for 4 turns. The tune was 500% damage to the target and a little less defense up, plus 56%, and extra damage against fire. With the glass costume, we are losing that extra damage against fire, but we are getting the ability to bypass defensive buffs and a little bit higher attack, 510% damage to the target, and of course that whopping glass costume bonus of 70% attack, 70% defense, 75% health, and 5% mana. Pretty awesome. And the defense is not quite as high as the original, but higher than the Toon costume at plus 60% defense for caster and nearby for 4 turns. And of course, that glass costume, all of them have that passive of a 60% extra chance to reflect status ailments back to the caster. Great. Now let's take a look at these 4 stars. All of the attacking ones have a chance, not a chance, but will bypass counterattack and other defensive buffs. All of the defensive glass costumes have the ability to have those color heroes reflect status ailments and negative stacks for 2 turns, and that includes Melendor here. The 4-star costume bonus is 19, 19, 24, and 5. Still pretty impressive. He has a slightly higher health recovery, 46 instead of 42. They still dispel buffs. And, of course, as I said, all nature allies reflect status ailments and negative stacks for 2 turns. Compare that to the Toon, and it's a higher health recovery. We don't get that extra defense up and have that undispellable for nature, but we get that reflect, which is pretty nice. Next up, we have, oh shoot, come on now. Liju, and this is the one that I really want. Not that I really need the glass costume. I'm still just going to use this one all the time. But I think the glass or the Toon costume bonus is 17, 17, 22. So just a little bit extra bonus in the stats. Going to be worth it if I am able to pull this glass costume. The glass costume does hit harder, 190% damage to all enemies, and it bypasses defensive buffs. Reduces the mana of all enemies by 18% as opposed to 20%. But it's a harder hit, and the Toon, it's still a harder hit than the Toon, and reduces the mana a little higher than the Toon. So that's nice here for Liju's glass costume. Let's keep going through these quickly, because there's a lot of them. Kiril also gets a glass costume. 32% health recovery as opposed to 28. Slightly less attack and defense up than the original. And that, compared to the Toon, is still a higher health recovery and still a higher attack buff and defense buff. So that's nice for Kiril's glass costume. We get a couple 3 stars in here as well. There's not much you can do for Kailani, except buff her stats. The 3-star glass costume bonus is 17, 17, 22, and 5. They've been soul connected. She's actually getting a little less defense up, but she does get the reflect for all holy allies now. And the Toon was even less defense up, but was undispellable for holy characters and lasted longer. Swiping back here, and we've also got Balthazar, who was originally 335% damage to the target, 375% damage to the target, plus that ability to bypass defensive buffs, as opposed to 365 and extra damage against holy. Finally, in the new category, Brienne gets more attack up, 50% as opposed to 45%. And we get the ability to reflect status ailments and negative stacks. The tune was 45% attack still, so this is a bigger attack buff. A lot of people still using Brienne on a green Titan team, and now that glass costume is going to get even stronger. Whew, okay, that's, I think, all of these glass costumes. Let's go in and do a superstition or two. 2-star troop. How about one more 2-star? 1-star troop. Uh-oh. 1-star hero. Okay, now we got to go way down this road. 2-star. 1-star. Try to get 2 in a row. 2. 1. Okay, that's good enough. Anyway, let's go in. I have 2 whopping pulls here from just finishing the whole masquerade thing. See if I get lucky. Bold Tusk. I think I have Bold Tusk's glass costume and I haven't done anything with it yet. But that's nice. If I get something in yellow, something in blue, I'll be pretty excited. There's a lot of good yellow or blue opportunities. Yellow. I thought it was Liju. Kailani gets a glass costume. I guess that's fine. There it is. So anyway, that's the quick review. Let's look at this chest. Look at that. Fine gloves. Those are some fine gloves. That's the review for today. Thank you for checking out the video. We'll see you next time.